Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I want to talk today about the importance of protecting your peace because I think people spend too much time engaging in fights and, spend too much time really just distracting themselves from their own path because someone else decided to throw a punch at them. And I can understand if it's a repeat incident, someone keeps trying to attack you, and you don't feel like you are safe to continue on your journey until you resolve whatever the issue is. But the goal should be to resolve it. The goal should not be to teach them a lesson, to punish them, to get revenge. People get down in the dirt too much, and it does you no favors. You have to be able to feel like you can go where you're going and continue on the journey that you're on without getting bogged down by other people's problems with you. Because truthfully, it has nothing to do with you. What the person who threw a punch at you, who knows why they did it? That's their business. That's their problem. Your only concern should be making sure it isn't going to happen again, not justice or revenge. That's that person's karma. Don't get involved. Don't try to deliver justice yourself because, that person, like I said, it's their shit. You don't have to do that. Nor should you want to. I mean, think of how much energy and time it takes to do that to someone. There's a time and a place, and I think you'll know in your gut when it really is the appropriate time to do it. But for the most part, it's a good rule of thumb to say that it's better to just keep going unless you feel like they're not going to allow it. So just neutralize the threat so that you can continue on your journey. The goal should always be to mind your own business. So, how that relates to protecting your peace is that that is your peace. You don't want to feel like you can't relax, you can't rest because someone has it out for you or someone has a problem with you. Unless they are an active threat, unless you are in danger, just ignore them. It's their problem if they're mad at you, if they have an opinion about you. I think people spend too much time getting worried about little things that don't matter, like someone insults you or someone doesn't like you, someone has a negative opinion about you. These people aren't sending you death threats. These people aren't attacking you. These people aren't really making you feel unsafe. However, you may interpret it that way from a sort of primitive, instinctive standpoint. Not sure if it's instinctive or instinctual in that context, but nevertheless, you know what I mean. So, um, it's primitive either way. It's not really based on anything logical that could be applied to life in today's world. However, there was a time when, just as a species in our past evolution, it was necessary for us to think that way, where someone not liking you was actually related to your safety and survival. You are less safe and secure if people don't like you. Now, I'll grant you, even today, that is still a little bit applicable because if enough people don't like you, they can come at you and get you. But people aren't as violent nowadays. You're not going to be like, exiled from a community and then completely screwed and you need to fend for yourself. We're not out in the wild. We have a lot of means to take care of ourselves and live on our own. So unless someone's trying to throw a bomb through your window, you're you're probably safe. So, it is important to be practical and recognize when you're having an instinct that is not really applicable to your life. And don't judge it. Definitely don't ever judge your emotions. Just try to understand them. Try to figure out why you feel how you feel. It's a fact that a lot of people feel that, someone not liking you is a threat. They're extremely bothered by that. And even though I don't believe it is a good thing, I still want to understand it and explain. I don't want people to feel like they're wrong for feeling that way. So I think the best way to let it go is to first understand what it is and why you feel that way in the first place and why you don't need to. So let's break those down. First of all, why you feel that way. It's probably because if someone is, judging you, insulting you, especially if it's someone that's close to you, it's going to make you feel unsafe and threatened. So recognize that instinct and don't judge it. Just say, this is normal. This is, logical. But override it. Just say, you know what? Um, this isn't really applicable to this situation. I'm just going to shrug it off. It doesn't really matter. Then ask yourself, is it applicable? I mean, maybe this person, maybe it's not even about survival. Maybe it's just about, um, whether or not you can actually have a healthy connection to this person. Maybe this is someone you want to have a healthy relationship with, and it's bumming you out that they're acting that way. Well, talk to them about it. Maybe it's your partner, and you don't want to like be separated or get a divorce or anything. Um, don't don't just ignore it. Definitely try to address it. However, if it's someone that is just around, someone that maybe don't really have any interest in having a connection to or a relationship with, but they're just in your life anyway, either get them out of your life or just learn to ignore it when people say things like that. This happens a lot on social media. And it happens very often to celebrities with like cancel culture, where people are expecting their opinions of you to matter more than they really should, which is not a good message to send. Cancel culture suggests that your opinion of someone should be the deciding factor of their fate, and that is not true. Um, you really should not take anybody else's opinion of you very seriously. You have to figure out for yourself who you are, what your values are, and if you're proud of yourself, and if you can continue to evolve, if you're going in the right direction, if you're evolving or going backwards. Um, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't take the time to reflect. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that yelling at someone and telling them that they're bad and they need to change will not accomplish that. It won't make a difference. So you need to learn how to mind your own business. And again, think of it on the reverse side. You are now spending your time attacking someone that you don't even know in this instance because you think that they did something wrong. This goes back to what I was saying earlier about the whole, trying to get justice, for someone throws a punch at you. The goal should be to move on with your life and go your own way. You don't want to spend too much time. It becomes gossip and it becomes extremely toxic for your brain because you start thinking in a more cynical way. Um, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the person you're doing it to. And I see it all the time. So people really just need to learn better boundaries in general. But I think I made another video about boundaries, but I don't think there's really anything that I said in that video that I'm not also going to make clear in this video. So I'm going to try and wrap this up too, because I don't even know how much more there really is to say. The main point that I want to make is just that it is extremely beneficial to shrug things off. Someone is judging you, someone has a bad opinion of you, just shrug it off. Especially if it's someone you don't know and have no interest in knowing, but you still hear them for some reason. If you can, you know, tune them out, block them, turn off the comments, quit that job with those coworkers or your boss, move out of that household with those people who say those things to you, whatever it is. People that you really are just around because you kind of have to be, who say shit like that, or just someone you even run into on the street. The goal should always be to protect your peace, to just move on from it. And people don't prioritize their peace enough. It's almost like there's this sense of anger and frustration that they want to let out, and they want to just take it out on someone. And I get it. There is a lot of injustice in the world. There are a lot of reasons to be angry and frustrated, but you are not responsible all the time for delivering justice, and you're going to do it much more effectively if you have taken care of yourself first, if you know how to balance and organize and take care of yourself. You can't be aggressive. It's not productive. It's sort of just like, you know, someone punches you and you just punch them back. What did you really accomplish? You didn't really do anything. You just, now they're hurt too. Um, but that's the problem. People don't think, they just react. And they're just ready to take that anger out on someone. So you gotta manage that for yourself, for others. You're gonna be happy that you did, because it disturbs your own peace when you don't do this. So to circle back to the points that I was making, let me make sure I said everything as I wrap this up. I was talking about where these instincts come from, why someone, not actually threatening you might bother you. When it actually is a threat, the goal should be to neutralize the threat, not to, go in further and keep attacking and, spend all of your time and energy on that as if you're like a deliverer of justice or something, because it's not realistic. And, I think just in general, um, it's just important to not let people get in your head, and to not when someone does get in your head, you have to realize that you may become the problem in their life too, because now you're the person that they have to try and not let get to them. You've sort of taken on that role for yourself, which is sort of the example that I was giving in cancel culture, where I could have been talking to a person who's getting canceled and also to the people doing the canceling, giving the same advice, because they both need the same advice. Don't let other people get to you. Don't let the person you're canceling get to you. Don't let the cancelers get to you. It's not important, and it has nothing to do with you. It's just people who don't have good boundaries, not understanding um, how to act like an adult. Honestly, I mean, what I see on the internet, people have become very um, like childish, just operating from a more immature place. And I'm sorry for ranting about cancel culture in a video that technically is unrelated to it, but I do think that it is connected because I think that cancel culture is connected to a bigger issue that we have internally, which is related to the topic of the video. And I think that this shows itself in a lot of different ways. You may find yourself not, yelling at a celebrity per se, but just someone that you know in your life. You may find yourself feeling very self righteous and feeling like you sort of have the morally superior stance, maybe politically or something, and you think that because you know better, because you have the better stance, you have the right to judge and yell at and attack people who you see as a problem, who you see as, a nuisance or a hindrance to the goals that you have. And it's not healthy to think that way because it doesn't actually get you anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It just disturbs your peace. So we have to really let go of these mentalities that we need to be saviors, we need to be heroes, we need to, fight for social justice and stuff. We absolutely do, but we cannot prioritize it above taking care of our own selves. And that's why I have a channel like this. It's about taking care of yourself because there is literally no point in taking care of other people if no one is taking care of themselves. That would be like a bunch of babies trying to raise each other. It's not going to happen. They're going to die. You need someone older than you to take care of you first. You need to have something to give out before you can give to other people. Um, and that's really all that it comes down to. You can't pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself and make sure that when you are trying to help other people, you really know what you're doing and you're doing it responsibly, ethically, morally, and for the right reasons. Not out of fear, not out of obligation, not because you're just trying to feel like a better person, or it's because it's what everyone else is doing, or because, you're just acting out of emotion. This shouldn't be an emotional thing. It should come from a place of love, but I don't think that I mean love is technically an emotion, but to me it feels more like just something mature. And I think of emotions as being kind of flighty and immature, and love to me is a constant thing. It's something that's always there for you to tap into. It's something you can trust and lean on, not something that you have to worry about. And it, of course, depends on the context. There are some situations where the word love can be something very unreliable, but in the context that I'm talking about, um, I I don't think so. So if you want clarification on that, let me know in the comments, but that's all I'm going to say for now. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. Um, for now, I post every Tuesday, but I I'm still, thinking about what I want to do with this channel. I might rebrand it, I might change the name, I might change the upload schedule. I still haven't done shorts or live streams yet, and I intend to do that soon. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know what's happening yet with this channel, but for now, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every like and comment. It's still, a very small channel, so I notice every interaction that I get, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this, and I hope to see you again next time I post. Have a good rest of your day or night.